Sorry, can you do this when I'm drinking coffee? Well, I'm also drinking coffee. Anyway, welcome to the channel, and in this video we're going to be talking to you about how to kill off and get rid of your rogue bamboo. It's been in the news a bit recently, and I feel it's time to give you the benefit of my experience, because we had the exact same problem here when we moved in. Now, the bamboo I'm talking about, which is the problem bamboo we have in the UK, is the Philostachys aurea, commonly known as the golden bamboo. And there's been a lot of talk about it in the media recently because it has this running root system. It's not a huge growing plant. It's not like those massive 5, 7, 10 meter bamboos that you get in China that you see on your TV and your fancy films. This one's only going to go to between about 3 and 5 meters tall, but it's not the height. It's not the height that's the problem, unless of course you just planted it right on the edge of your neighbour's boundary and it's blocking out all the light. The problem is their running roots, and particular problem in properties that do not have a concrete base and have floorboards and joists, because in those properties it's quite possible for those roots to go under your house wall and then travel up and start growing inside your house, and that's where it's getting its rather bad reputation from. So for whatever reason, if you've got one of these bamboos and it's causing a problem and you want to deal with it, you want to kill it, get rid of it, what do you need to do? Because there's a problem. I'll tell you what that problem is. It is a very robust and vigorous plant, and you can't just go into a garden centre, pick up a little spray of weed killer, spray it on and expect it to work. Quite often, even with products such as glyphosate, if it hasn't been banned where you live, you can spray it with shop-bought glyphosate and it will impact it to a certain point, but quite often these vigorous plants will actually just keep on growing through and doesn't kill it off. So you might be able to buy yourself some SBK, which is an acronym for Special Brushwood Killer, because the only way you're going to kill these bamboo roots, and it's the roots that's the problem, the huge it's a mass of plant material, these roots, and like I say, very vigorous, very strong. If you want to kill that, you're going to have to get a little bit, well, I don't know, how would you call it? You got to use something fairly serious. So you could be looking at pouring SBK on it, seeing if that works. You might need to use sodium chlorate, see if that works. These kind of products are products which basically sterilize the soil, so nothing can grow in it. If you have access to commercial products, and of course you'll need a spraying license here in the UK to apply those products, then products such as Shikira, products such as Icade, you can use both of those. Icade is particularly good at destroying bamboo roots. So I think you do hear of people using diesel, you do hear of people using gallons of Coca-Cola because of the acid content of it, but that's just the first part. If you can find a product that actually will kill it off and then it dies, then you got to get rid of the roots. Hold on a minute, I've got something important to say. If you've enjoyed this video or just find some of the information in it useful to you, then consider clicking on the like button. That way it makes it a lot easier for YouTube to find other people who want to find that information. Anyway, no further ado, let's continue finding out what old Boilbutt has to say. Now, you may not have got as far as thinking about removing the roots in your plan to kill off your bamboo, and in some cases you might not need to take the roots out at all. But if you're planning on planting anything else in the area, you're going to have to take them out, because it is a solid mass of vegetation, and you can't dig into it, you can't plant into it. So if you do want to plant it, as we did in this garden, we wanted to continue the border along, that root has got to come out. And if it's not too big, then you can do it. You can do it just with a decent spade, and probably a pickaxe, or a mattock, so that you can dig into the ground and then lever it out, and it will, with a bit of strength, lift out in a big lump. But in a big patch, doing it by hand might not be your option. If that is the case, you've got a large patch, you want it taken out, then probably your best option is to hire yourself a mini digger and just rip it out. And assuming that you've killed off all the roots beforehand, that should be the end of the story. Now make sure you consider this. If you're removing your bamboo root system in order to put in a new border to replant, and be really careful about what products you're using. If you are one of those renegade gardeners going to use diesel in it, you might not be able to plant plants in that area after you've taken that root ball out, so to be very careful. Always check the timings on these products as to when you can replant. In the case of like Icade and Shikira, you could be looking at 6 months or so. You know, so it's quite a long time. So backfill the hole where your bamboo came out with fresh, new, sterilised topsoil or compost. But I would leave it. I'd leave it for a few months before you plant. That's just a thing. And like I say, using diesel, using Coca-Cola, there's no license for using those. I'm just saying that's what some people have used. I'm not recommending that by any stretch of imagination. But certainly if you're using a commercial product, always read the instructions, and it will tell you on the instructions that time distance from when you apply it to when you can replant. It's an important one to consider when you're dealing with these things. Oi, that nearly hit me. Now, some of you out there might be thinking, Simon, I don't want to be using your horrible, nasty chemicals that are going to damage all the soil. I want to use a natural remedy. Are there any natural remedies that you could recommend? You can use solutions of salt. You know, boil up the salt so that it dissolves properly, then use gallons of it and pour it out. But you know, you're still sterilising the soil. It really isn't a lot different to just using the sodium chlorate that I recommended earlier on. You could use vinegar. You could buy yourself a load of acetic acid. You know, don't bother putting it on your chips, put it straight on the floor. And again, it will kill it off, but again, you've sterilised the soil, you still can't plant in it afterwards. And also, there's no licenses for these, and I'm not going to give you any kind of dilution rates for these because you're not supposed to be using them. Probably the only properly natural system to kill off the roots of bamboo is boiling water. And again, I'm not going to recommend it because of the danger of getting it on yourself. But if there's one method that will sterilise it and then be able to plant in straight after it once the roots are killed, then boiling water is probably your best bet as a natural solution. But would I recommend it? Well, I wouldn't recommend any of those natural solutions. But they're there for you to research and make your own decision on. So there you have it. In order to kill off the bamboo, you are going to need to chemically sterilise the soil around the root system to kill off that root system. And if you want to take it out, you might be able to do it by hand. It is very hard work, and you may wish to consider using a digger. So those are my ways of doing it, but you might have a better idea or a better way or more experience. And if you have, then we'd like to hear from you. Put that in the comments. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Right, now, just before you go, if you want to see more content, more behind the scenes stuff, and images that I've taken of some weird freaky plants over the years, then you're in luck because we've created an Instagram page. So you can find the link in our description. You can find the link on our main page, and if I'm clever enough, I might be able to get a link somewhere up there. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you want to see more YouTube stuff, then check out this video here. That's quite a good one. And if it doesn't float your boat, then another one right there. And enjoy these while I still got the strength, imagination and aptitude to make them. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.